What's good? Welcome to First String Podcast. On today's episode of First String Podcast, we got our guy Anthony Armstrong coming through to talk to us about the Washington Commanders. Lady A has a spot of tea. Al has a foursome. Said has leaking oil. Said coming in hot. Y'all know we work 9 to 5s, and it's getting real close to reindeer time. So Said's putting a little overtime in. Of course, we got a JD to talk about. One JD was released, another JD is injured. Which is which? We'll find out as soon as we come back. First Ring Podcast. I hope y'all ready. Let's go.
It's wartime, baby. This what you signed up for. This what we worked hard for. You for. Y'all the first string. Y'all gotta go set the tone now. Hey, let's go. Lace them up, it's the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Cause it's time for the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Lace them up, it's the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast show. Imagine talking sports, having fun with the fam. At a starting lineup, first string is what you have. An entertaining stream with the Pro Bowl cast. When the viewers chime in, they gon' answer what you ask. Representing for the Queens, yeah, we got Lady A. A super knowledgeable woman who can break down any play. Say it from the South, so he read GA. The Falcons, the Bulldogs, the whole Peach State. Drunk Uncle Al, only way you can describe him. Every time he crack the mic, you know he gon' be wildin'. Last but not least, it's my man Toothpick. Commanders is a squad and he the captain of the ship. So if you feel the vibe, go ahead and tune in. Like, subscribe, recommend to a friend. Nah, for real, like, subscribe, and recommend this to a friend. Hey, let's go. Cause it's time for the First String Podcast show.
Welcome back to First String Podcast. Do not forget to like and subscribe to First String Podcast. Hit the bell to enable alert for new content just like this right here. The most important part for real is that you tell a friend about First String Podcast and have them subscribe as well. On this Saturday, we will be giving away, well, we will not be giving it away until next Tuesday, but this Saturday is the week for our Call of Duty competition. And the way you win Call of Duty is you email firststringpodcast at firststringpodcast@gmail.com. We'll put that up a little later. And you put your picks in. Whoever has that best record, of course, is going to get emailed a copy of Call of Duty. So with that being said, it's time to get the squad in here. And let's hope that Said doesn't have the black and blue or the blue and red lights behind him, because we know he can get to Austin real fast. But my man came in hot today and he made it on time. Said, what's good, man? How are you?
What's up, bro?
What do you have on?
University of Georgia, my brother. We was in Austin for a party, so we picked up a hat.
Down for a party, picked up a hat. I feel you. The party was good. We made a couple of new friends, right?
Yeah. Shout out Austin.
What up, Austin? We had a and he's genuflexing with me right now. So listen, I'm gonna have to send it over to HR to find out if that's findable, or if HR saw the show Saturday. We don't know, but we'll find out here in a little bit. Listen, Lady A, how are you doing?
I am well, but I need to point out that it hasn't even been 5 minutes into the show, and Said has already done a wardrobe change.
He has, but he hasn't done any grooming.
I seen the chat. What in the world?
Really? That's what you see. Mm-hmm.
Kyle, what up, Kyle? Our guys back in the chat, man. Thank you for jumping in there. Listen, when he came in backstage, he already told us he was back. Y'all know. Al, how you doing, man?
Good evening. Good evening, TV Lane. How you doing, man? Happy to be back, man. Off the bye week. We rested. Well rested, ready for a good week.
Only team I know can lose on the bye week.
Only team I know took an L on the bye week.
My bad.
I was just about to compliment that your apparel, the hat fly. I said, man, that must be some new, fresh dog material. And you shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, but say, I got one question for you. Do you got an extra rib?
You know what?
Rib? They're looking for extra rib.
What do we say? That's a fine right there.
What?
Yeah, just one rib.
He got fined because we do not make light of any injuries. It's not what we do.
Not at all.
Just one rib.
I didn't do
Not at all.
it.
Listen, Anthony Armstrong is coming in. He's gonna be coming in hot as well. But before we get to Anthony Armstrong, let's say what's up to everybody in the chat. We got our guy Bruce Glass checking in first, of course. Bruce doing what he do. And we got Dump Truck Don in the building. And like we spoke of earlier, right as said, 28-3. That's Kyle. That's our guy. Kyle's in the building. Of course, check him out. Miles by Kyle. My man is everywhere. Kyle, we got something special for you, bro, because we, as a podcast, are on fire right now.
El Fuego.
And we are. Bruce said, how's it been, Kyle? What's good, Don? Right there, of course. And then, hey, good evening, Toothpick. Hey, how are you? So,
hello. I like when the ladies come in and represent.
Right. When the ladies come in, they all here. Right. There we go. All right. We're jamming. Okay, listen. A JD got released. I told you guys in the chat, right? Lady A, you got this story. Go for it.
So, JD, not Jaden Daniels, has been released. Our first round pick, a fellow first round pick. We just got rid of two of them. Well, actually three. Montez Sweat, Chase Young, Jahan Dotson, all first round picks, and now Jamin Davis. We've gotten rid of him. He has been released from the Commanders today. And he was only the 19th player selected in the 2021 NFL draft. So I guess Adam Peters and Dan they saw fit to go ahead and release him. It's well known. They didn't pick him. You know what I mean? So yes, these are first round picks, but they're not their picks. So very curious to see what they're going to do. Of course, releasing him, I feel like that was a bit much. I feel like you could have done that a little different.
I don't know.
You don't think that a trade?
I don't know. I mean, I really do like
a little better.
Well, you actually respect him a little when you cut him and give him a chance to sign with who he wants to sign with. They might have been doing him a solid. You know what I'm saying? So for to trade them somewhere he might not want to go. So it might have been discussed internally, but you never know. That may be the new regime's way of doing it a little classier than the old regime. They probably would have sent him wherever they could get an 8th round pick if possible.
Right. So he finished his career with the Commanders. Yeah, well, 7 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, 282 total tackles, and 2 forced fumbles in 50 games. So thank you so much.
And the other part too is what Don may be saying too, is maybe they did try to shop him and nobody wanted him.
Could be.
Right. All Riverboat Ron's boys are exiting the building. This is true. Listen, maybe some of the other defensive ends that are not projects are doing such a great job, like we saw this weekend when the Commanders on the first drive, tipped the screen pass right into the hands of Farrell, who began to boogie on down the field, escorted by one Deron Payne. For interception and a quick pick six, right? So I mean, things when you do that, when you make plays like that, and he's been making plays, and I believe he leads the Commanders in sacks as well. When you do things like that, it sort of makes you expendable, right?
Mhm.
Because we got another first round pick here in Farrell who's playing out of his mind right now, and he's probably playing his best ball that he's ever played.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I do think that this may be a sign of some other things to come. So
Hawk TV's in the building as well. Hawk TV says we're live. Hawk TV, listen, all our old crews bouncing back. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. I
What's
love it,
going on,
man.
TV? Y'all came in just
People,
in time. Y'all came in just in time today. Y'all can get to see some good stuff today. Good stuff.
yeah, for real, for real. Listen, we got a Thursday night football game to pick, and Al has a flight. Al's going out of town. Forbes is next on the list. I don't think so. I think Forbes.
That's Lady A's guy.
well, Forbes, let's keep in mind Forbes just got only his second interception.
Yep.
And again, like what Al just said, surprisingly, I agree with him. That's not their guy. That wasn't somebody they chose either. So if they didn't choose you, you just may be up for, for a release or a trade or something. And then just this past March, Jamin did have like some legal issues as well. Reckless driving, a reckless driving charge. And of course, that's not a good look on the organization. A lot of teams are trying to crack down on things like that. So we'll see. We'll see what's next.
Well, we have a Thursday night football game to pick, and we're going to get this one in real fast before Anthony Armstrong joins us here in a little bit. So on Thursday night this week, we have the Minnesota Vikings and the LA Rams.
Whoa. No, we can't jump in like that. Hold on.
No.
We want a review of last week's.
We can't jump in like that. We're going to go to jump in like this. It ain't going to take but a minute. It ain't going to take much more extra time because, it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and give an update.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna run back on week 7, and see how everybody did for week 7, just so you know. So we're gonna start out week 7 picks, at the top. Bang, there you see it.
Okay.
Came in, I forgot to put the El Fuego by pick name. He came in at 13-2. Lady A 12-3. No game.
Y'all keep that same energy.
No game.
But you still never mind. Go ahead.
Nah, at the bottom down there.
Oh baby.
He was playing like the Cowboys. Anyway, so we're gonna move on to the overall league.
Man, that boy shoot. He got plenty of bullets in that gun, don't he?
Oh, look at that.
And as you can see, me and Lady A, still 1-2. He gained about one game because y'all was hot this week. I mean, it ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, it is y'all was hot this week.
Yeah.
And Al fell back a little bit because he had a bad week along the Cowboys. But that's not good. I mean, it's only one game. But look at the record we put up there today.
Out, 9 games over 500. I'm still well in range of each and every one of you.
Al gonna be picking some basketball games here in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm about to say, let me pick a couple. I like
Al
the Lakers.
Picking some basketball games.
I like
here
the Lakers over tonight. Can I get that?
Nah, see, he trying to pick the easy one.
So it's all right, Al. Everybody have a bad week every now and then. It was El Fuego this week. You know what I'm saying? He had a couple games. Wait. He had a couple games that could have went either way.
Yeah.
There was a little TV. Yeah. It just happened to lean back his way when it was leaning the other way. So it could have went that way. It happened like that sometimes.
I'm proud of Pitt. I was tired of that basement dwelling he was doing, man. He had
still at the bottom. What you talking about? He ain't moved up.
He's still mid-grade. I mean, let's be real.
Told
He's still
mid-grade.
Hello.
He just don't look as
keep
bad.
That same
He's
energy.
still bad, but not as bad.
Y'all keep that same energy. I told y'all, keep that same energy. Y'all gonna make me focus and do my thing. And I told y'all, keep that same energy. Hey,
okay,
Lady A, 2 weeks pick. Can you do it all season?
When I get focused, I can get focused.
What they say, a blind squirrel can find a nut sometimes, right?
Well, we're gonna see if I can find another one. Let's start off with this Thursday game. Hey, listen, Lady A, help me do this. Lady A. Guess who's in the building, Lady A?
Who? Oh, well, we have.
You ready?
Hey, Woody. Left hand
DJ
up.
Woody. DJ Woody.
Look at say it.
Oh, there you go, Sid. There you go.
Say
First
got it.
quarter spread Vikings. Oh, Cal's putting picks in there already. Drew, what's up, man?
Already.
I'm about to say, you don't give my
First
fellow
quarter spread
Cowboy
Vikings.
fan Drew a shout out, man. I see Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how you go to all these
Hi,
Commander
Drew.
fans first, and then go and just glance over the
We know
Cowboy
it's
fans that are in the building as well.
Hey, Al, do me a favor. Raise your non-dominant hand, please.
I don't know. I feel like I'm being set up.
There you go. There you go. There you go, Woody. He got his left hand up. He a Cowboy fan.
Go.
His left hand
Good job.
up. There you go. All right. On our Thursday night game, we got the Minnesota Vikings traveling out west to take on the Los Angeles Rams. All right. The Minnesota Vikings are coming off of their first loss of the season. The Los Angeles Rams are starting to put things back together. However, they are still underdogs at home. All right. Sam Darnold, can he bounce back? Can he get back to the Sam Darnold he was? Is the Minnesota Vikings defense going to keep Matt Stafford and the rest of this offense dormant? We will see. Let's look at the line. Here we go. We got the Vikings at -3 at +100. The Vikings money line is -155. The LA Rams are +3 at -120. Their money line is +130. All right. Now, this is the most important part right here, Sid. The over-under is set at 48, 110 both ways, right? 48, 110 both ways. All right. So pick goes first, right?
Pick. Hold on before you do that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, guys, if you or someone you know is facing challenges with gambling, support is accessible. The National Council on Problem Gambling offers various resources such as FAQs, a self-assessment for gambling behavior, details on treatment, and a helpline to link you with local assistance. You can call 1-800-GAMBLER. That is 1-800. Okay, somebody take it off.
It was probably me.
Okay, that is 1-800-426-2537. Again, 1-800-426-2537. You can also text 800-GAM, or you can visit them on the web at ncpgambling.org.
Okay. All right, listen, Cal. I like your line. I like your spread. I really do, but I need you to put a winner in the chat so I can pick it. I'm rolling with Cal. No, I got it. Listen,
you go ahead and do that. Go ahead.
No, not today. Not today.
Go ahead, Alvin. Talk to us. What you got?
No, it's me. I'm up first.
No, Alvin's last. Come on, Pig. We're not. Come on, Pig.
I don't like the way you said that, Sid. I'm feeling a certain type of way.
Al, my bad.
I got people calling me.
Al, how about this? You in the fourth spot? How about that?
The fourth spot does sound better.
It sounds better.
You're in the fourth spot. If it was 5 people, but I'm going with Minnesota money line. Man, I think Minnesota bounces back.
You got room for improvement.
Yeah, I definitely got room for improvement.
You said Minnesota money line. I got to Al.
Hey, look. Now listen, y'all know Al. Y'all know Al be roasted me in the chat, and he was like, he had me looking like, what? I wasn't even in that conversation. Al, I picked before you the last time, and you said you took too many of picks. Well, Al, I'm going Minnesota money line. So Lady A just changed her pick.
No, she did. She's smart. She stayed saying she all right. We'll be all right.
We're gonna be in fast agreement on this. The Rams snuck away with a win last week, if I remember correctly. Hold on, I'm sorry. They snuck away with a win. So I think Minnesota's coming in with too much firepower. Yeah, they finally lost one game. Yeah. But unless Justin Jefferson got a broken ankle.
Who?
Huh?
I thought you said Justin Jefferson had a broken ankle. I said unless he has a broken ankle.
Unless
Minnesota
should light the scoreboard up. Now the thing about that is how many points did the Rams score for the over under? Right? That's the problem. because the Rams only got one true wide receiver, which is Tutu Atwell, and he's starting to get double teamed. So with that being said, I'm gonna have to roll with the group. You know, I had already wrote my name down anyway, but Minnesota Mudlines. I had already wrote mine down.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead. The over under is 48.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm going with the under.
That's to be different. You know, it's always.
Thank you for the 1-game lead, Lady A.
Whatever. Don't
Hey,
stop.
Sid, can you show everybody what we're playing for here? Why we compete so hard?
What we're playing for and what everybody is fighting for. They're fighting up here. Lady A has a 1-game lead. She's trying to do her best to stay ahead of me. You see, I'm kind of halfway serious with this, but I was, a little 50-50 on some of the picks I did last week. One of my Wilsons came in. The other one, let's just say I should have left from what it was in the first place.
I have a question.
Anyway, what you say?
Do we got a history teacher in the chat? Because I'm seeing some old stuff, some people living in the past, man, putting old scores in the chat. We got a
You talking about
history
Kyle?
teacher in the chat, man.
We
got a history teacher.
So here's what let me explain this to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you have a bye,
Right.
unfortunately, your last score is your last score. So right now you are on a losing streak. Your team is on a losing
a bye for a reason. You say bye.
That's to rest.
Week.
Yeah,
so
no,
rest. That is history. We are on to the 49ers.
That's a great guy going. He ain't get no worse.
I can tell you right now.
This is what they're playing for. Go to get a big screen. Give me the big screen. Give me the big screen.
You want the big screen?
Give me the big screen. Give me the big screen. I, who hold this belt, have held this belt for the last 2 years. This is metal. It's not plastic.
No three-piece.
It is a leather.
There's no repeat.
It's First String Podcast. Pig winner. That would be me. Right. The back-to-back. The legend.
Mm-hmm.
To be the man, you got to beat the man.
Here we go.
Right now.
2 claps in the Ric Flair. Woo!
She had a 1-game lead. She clutched her pearls on every win.
Whatever.
Listen.
My over-unders come through, okay?
Well, you chose the under this time. Let's see what happens. The Washington Commanders had a big win on Sunday afternoon at Northwest Stadium versus the Carolina Panthers. The most important part of this whole thing was it was Darryl Green weekend. It was Darryl Green week, and I think the team did an excellent job of, expressing how much Darryl Green meant to this organization and the city. He got a key to the city, and I think they did it real big. We'll find out a lot more from Anthony Armstrong, who's back in Washington for the alumni weekend.
Right,
but it seems like the first time in a very, very, very long time, the Washington Commanders took care of business on the field, which was the culmination of the whole thing, right? Is you come out, you celebrate people, you have them set for halftime, but you have to take care of business on the field.
Right.
The defense started off this party, as we spoke about a little bit earlier with Farrell. Lady A, I got to ask the question of you because you were in the building, right? Carolina was driving, right? They were starting to put some things together, right? They're inside their first 15 plays and they look really good.
Right.
That interception happens. How was the electricity in the building? Like what a difference that made. Explain it to us what you all felt in the building. Look at Al.
Al, don't hate. If it were your team, you would be exactly the same way. It was electric in there because we didn't quite expect that, it was the first drive of the game. And to get that, and that's any team, Al.
Right.
To get that interception was just like, for real? Okay, so we here to play. And it felt good because we had so many alumni there. The stands were full. Okay. They were completely full for various reasons. The team is hot right now.
That burgundy and gold looks beautiful at a full stadium.
There you go. But the team was hot right now. It was alumni weekend. It was full, you know. There were people that were still walking in, you know, thinking that, you know, oh, it's just the first quarter. Oh no, but you missed something already. So it's very electrifying. I mean, some people, you know, some haters, they're like, oh, well, it was the Panthers. It doesn't matter. A pick is a pick. A win is a win.
Plays on your schedule.
And that's what it is. I will say though, going a little forward, you know, I've said this a few times during the game, in our chats, and of course even on the show. I wish that Jaden wouldn't run so much, right?
Yep.
No, you can't take that away from him.
No.
You better take Buck 50 off that out there gun range ball. Gun line.
Just because you can doesn't mean you always do that. Okay,
yeah, but it's a freak accident. You can't.
No.
Players.
Hold on.
The more you do it, the less it becomes an accident, Pick.
Let me finish. So, if you're going to run, there are certain things that you need to do. You need to ensure, you need to protect yourself, because once a quarterback runs, he is not the quarterback anymore.
Yeah, right.
Okay?
I got that part.
He's not the quarterback anymore. They're going to try to take your head off. Okay, it's clear. Your pads are different. You have less protection. You know, you've run past your line. So at the end of the day, you have to protect yourself. So,
but hold on. Let me ask this question. So it looked like he was trying to house call that one, right? It looked like he was trying to LSU versus Florida
he hit the
on
man
that
with the
one,
Heisman.
Right?
Did y'all see that? He hit him with the Heisman.
I think personally, that's where the separation happened. That's where the rib injury happened. That right there is, right. I think it was when
he took that run. Yeah, because at that moment he was not thinking, "I'm a quarterback. I'm gonna run this ball all the way down the field." Like I said, you know, you got people coming at you, and he trying to hit him with the Heisman. No.
Apparently, Buck 50 said they fell on him, and you know, you fall on like a little pencil, it will break.
First off, I take issue with that subject right there.
Because he's skinny. Don't say that.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying, Big, you should know.
I'm gonna take that to HR.
Just saying, you take it to HR. But when you fall and them big guys get to fall on Buck 50, you know that them bones ain't the density of them bones ain't.
That goes to what I'm saying. You have to be mindful of this. Because you are not, you're first of all, like I said, everyone knows the quarterbacks, their pads are different, right? You're not built the same way either. You're not built the same way as I'm gonna go further, but you're not built the same way like a fullback would be. You know what I mean?
Right.
So with that said, okay, it's no secret Jaden had an injury. Definitely, you can tell later on he came out. Back out, of course, he was on the sidelines. When we scored, he raised both his hands. So that let me know, okay, no broken ribs. But we have Marcus Mariota in there. And Jaden did really well for the time he was in the game. So great for him. But when Marcus came in, he scared me too, because Marcus runs straight down the middle like he's a fullback.
He's about
and
to
I'm like,
come on, Al, you wishing bad juju now.
No, I'm just saying, I said he came in and they wouldn't even, but thing is, I blame the play calling, because they weren't protecting with some of the play calls. They got a lot of design quarterback runs that were called for Mariota that I thought were plays that you're up 20-something. Why are you putting your quarterback in potential harm's way? It made no sense.
I don't think that this was by design. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when Marcus came in, it did seem like he needed a moment, right? He needed to gel with his team. It was some jitters or something. It wasn't just he jumped in the game and it was just smooth. You could see the transition. He had to get comfortable. He had to adjust. Once he did that, he wasn't running up the middle like he was before. But you know, and to this comment, it's like it's one thing to say someone's playing scared, but it's another thing to play smart. We've just had a quarterback get hurt and go out the game. The second quarterback that comes in we don't need him to get hurt too, you
But
know.
see, you got to look at it like this as well, Lady A. If they're looking at if they have to bring Mariota in another game, say because Jaden he's day to day,
Right.
they want to make sure he can operate the offense on the live scenes and not just I'm running through behind JD and he getting all the snaps the first team.
Right.
So that's why I noticed as well. They ran the whole offense with Mariota.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't throw the ball, run the ball. They kept running because I think in their mind they wanted to make sure that he had snaps with the first team, throwing the ball, running the ball, play action passes. That's because that's what it looked like. It didn't look like they would just run the ball. Let's run the clock out.
Correct.
Hand off here, hand off here. They turn around and start throwing the ball. I said, okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna give Mariota some touches, but just in case, he can't come play next week.
But in truth, Mariota does have I'm not gonna take this away from him. He has an arm. He does. He has an arm. Once he gets comfortable,
it was a good team. This was the best game for him to get hurt. Because Carolina Panthers are trash. Let's say that. Please. You play who on your schedule. I get it. We got to play them too, and I'm glad about it. But let's be real. Carolina Panthers are trash.
Yeah, they are.
And anybody could almost look good throwing the ball against and running the ball and throwing the ball.
Do you think your team could?
Until taxi cab Don. I'm sorry. Dump truck Don.
Do you think your team could look good against them?
We will and we shall. We're gonna look good against y'all too.
He said, taxi cab Don, you shooting shot?
Shot, bang, bang.
I hear you. It'd be funny to if it's the other way around because y'all lost bad the last game y'all played.
The Sunday after Thanksgiving, we'll see you all. How about
that?
Yeah, it's a good thing that's after Thanksgiving. That way you can enjoy your meal.
No, I wish it was on Thanksgiving. We used to beating up on y'all and getting the dessert early.
Not this year. Not this year right here. All right, listen. So after that, the offense comes on the field, and this, of course, this is where Jayden gets hurt. But the defense comes back on the field after the offense. We're up 10-0. And another player that a lot of people have talked about for a while around here, Emmanuel Forbes, gets his first interception. Fred Smoot said on John Conn's podcast that the only thing that Emmanuel Forbes is lacking right now is confidence. He's like his footwork is better. The way he's playing is better. I would say that him and St. Juice needed a little bit more physicality, but for what Fred was mentioning, his technique as a cornerback was all starting to get better. We saw him on the field. He was where he was supposed to be, and he got an interception. The ball was thrown to him. Now, we knew going into this game that Marcus Mariota would give us a couple of chances. I'm not Marcus Mariota. I'm sorry. Andy Dalton will give us a couple of opportunities for interceptions, and wouldn't you know, the defense gets two in their first two series on the field. I would love to see Manny Forbes try to house call that thing, but the fact that he caught it and was where he was supposed to be was really important to me. Right? Let the offense do the rest, and as we go down the field. Al, I know that you was really upset. Your adult beverage didn't taste as well, but Manny Forbes interception, like as a player, what does that do for his confidence?
Well, I think for a player that's been struggling, and for a defense that's been opportunistic, I guess, especially into that. That's a good thing about playing a bad team. This is what I will say about the Commanders right now. You're beating the teams you're supposed to beat the way you're supposed to beat them, and that wasn't the way the Commanders operated or played in the past. So I have to give kudos to them. I'm not going to be all. I'm not about all hate. I'm unbiased in my commentary.
Really?
Come on, say it. Well, but I must say I am surprised. I won't say pleasantly surprised because it's not that, but I am surprised that the Commanders are playing good football, and this game was, I think, a very big confidence builder. I think I think Dan Quinn with DQ will use this game as a motivating factor to build upon because you played a bad team and you beat a bad team. You did what you're supposed to do to a bad team, especially at home on Darryl Green's day. for the first time in a long time, when I've watched the Commanders game, especially from on the TV, the energy jumped off the screen. I must admit that you could see it in the crowd, you could see it on the field, and it was it was sickening, honestly. But but it was palpable. I could see it, and I could feel it. And I was like, not this. I really don't really care for this because I'm not used to that. Because quite honestly, I mean, it's funny because I used to have to turn the Redskins game up because the game was so low and boring sounding. You almost had to turn it up to hear the actual game. But this isn't the case right now. I'm telling you all, it was surprising. But you all jumped on them, didn't let up on them. I'm surprised. I think you all were a little upset that you all allowed that one touchdown.
7 points. Yeah, I think the defense was. I think they wanted a shutout.
Yeah,
shutout. But I mean, Chuba Hubbard is a good running back. But like I said, it's hurt me to say this. I was impressed by the fact that y'all handled a bad team and did what you're supposed to do to a bad team. You put 40 points on the board, which I hadn't seen that in 2 games sometimes from you all. So,
How those shots in there. Said was split. Said's attention was split, but because he had the Falcons on, but said he had the quad box going. He had it all going at the time. So said, as far as the energy goes, and my question to you, Said, is this: is when you're my defensive guy, when your defense is struggling and you play a bad team and you do what the coaches say and you wind up with interceptions and everything like that, what does it do for your team then going into another game versus a tougher opponent?
Right. First of all, I was watching 6 games at the same time.
That's 6. My bad. I shorted you 2. I was shorted you 2, right?
You said put some respect on it.
I got a big screen TV pick.
hey, my though ADD can kick in, so I'll be like, Anyway, yeah. As I watched Trash Falcons and Kirk Cousins not show up at the game at home, but that's another thing. We'll talk about that later on. The defense did exactly what they were supposed to do in this game. When you have a bad team, you jump on them, you jump on them again, you jump on them again. If they can't stop it, you jump on them again. It is what it is. That's what you do with bad teams. You're supposed to put bad teams away early and take all hope away from them. This is exactly what the defense did. So with the offense putting up those early 21 points, it was like, whatever. They paying ears back. We going to the quarterback. Don't make a difference who was in the Red Rocket, Eli, R. It don't make a difference. You got to go. Oh. it don't make a difference who you put in there. The defense did what it's supposed to do. They sat back and ran Dan Quinn's system. I'm gonna tell y'all again. Don't be disappointed when I tell you this. His defense is subjective to an athletic tight end. You hear me? Make sure you hear me now.
I heard you.
Cole Kmet.
Even in Seattle. So don't do this speaking just now. Even in Seattle. When Seattle lost, they lost to a team that had an athletic tight end.
Cole Kmet, anytime touchdown this week.
He ain't wasting no time shooting. Wasting no time. Anyway, they might stud him, but the defense did what they're supposed to do. They killed the run as much as possible. Like you said, they didn't want to let that. They didn't want that one touchdown to get through, but it did. It happens. It's the NFL. These guys are all professionals. That's why shutouts aren't. You don't really see them as much as we used to see them anymore because there's a lot more parity. Except for Carolina, I don't know what Carolina doing. I don't know what the GM doing. I don't know what the head coach is doing. I don't know what the owner's
working
doing.
on getting fired.
They want Dion. If they want Dion and Shador, they'd be crazy to go there.
They would. They would. But it's interesting though. But y'all did what y'all supposed to do, which is you're supposed to jump on a bad team early, kick them. They try to come up, you kick them again.
Right. As Doc was saying, you keep your foot on their throat. Lady A, we talked about Darryl Green, and at halftime they retired his jersey. Yes. What was the energy like in the building there for Darryl Green? I know a lot of his old teammates came back and showed love and support for him. Go ahead and give us the Darryl Green retirement, please.
So, first of all, you got to keep in mind that there was so much going on leading up to Sunday for him this particular week. Like he was on every radio station, on all the news stations in the morning. Like we said, Muriel Bowser gave him the key to the city the day before. And then on Sunday, it was just like it was alumni weekend. So, everybody's coming back. They had stuff before the game going on, tailgating and the whole nine. So once we got to halftime, it was just a sense of pride, to hear him speak about it, to see him interacting with his peers. We even had video messages from various people.
He was dancing on the field too, right?
It was just so much going on. Like he was dancing on the field. And then even, you know how they have the kickoff kid? His granddaughter was the kickoff kid for the second half. Yeah, so it was just like, oh my God.
How many kids did he have up there, man? Looking like a daggone Unifest festival.
Well, he has a bunch of grandchildren. I remember the video when they announced that he was going to have his jersey retired. They they tricked him into, they thought he was doing like a regular little interview. And then all these kids come. And I'm like, wow, he has a big family. So it was just a sense of pride. Everyone was standing up, you saw 28 throughout the entire stadium. It was just, it was something to see. It was a sight to see.
Yes,
he probably did.
Marshawn Lynch had Skittles on the sideline for his energy. Darryl Green had Tootsie Rolls in his socks for to keep his energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would go in his socks and grab a Tootsie Roll.
Clearly it worked. The man was considered the fastest man in the NFL for a long time.
He was.
I think Art Monk is next. Racer X. Racer X says when they're gonna retire number 81 from Syracuse. Art Monk, another Hall of Famer right there.
It took him 30 years to retire Darryl Green.
Well, I will say Josh Harris made a statement when he spoke. He said that we should have done this a long time ago.
He did.
It has to be noted that the last owner, that wasn't a big thing. We don't really have a lot of jerseys retired for that organization. For the organization to be around for so long, you would think that we would have more jerseys.
Running out of numbers.
But you got to have good players too to do that. Not that you.
Think about it though. We've had amazing players. We have a lot of people that have been in the Hall of Fame.
So trolling.
You could have. Why did it take Darryl Green? All these years. It took all these years for Darryl Green's number to be retired. Well, because we had to switch owners to do something like this.
Darryl Green was deserving. I will say that.
Thank you.
Not trolling your pick. I'm just saying.
Art Monk was a monster as well.
You got to make it special. If you're going to do that, it really has to be a special type of player,
right?
As well as a Hall of Fame on and off the field. And I believe Darryl represents that in the community as well as for the fans. And that was why it was especially important to get his number retired, and for that person, because he represents everything that you all should want in a person, a former player for the team.
Correct. And we do have the Ring of Fame that's in.
Right.
If you're in the stadium, you can look around and you can see. Art Monk is a part of that, so he has been honored in that capacity.
Right. Jersey, you gotta leave that. That's got to be a very, very, very creme of the creme.
When Art left the game, he was number one in a bunch of stats, and it shouldn't have took him as long to get into the Hall of Fame.
You mean for the Redskins, right?
No, some NFL stats, bro. He broke Steve Largen's consecutive catch streak.
He played the Jerry Rice era pick. It wasn't so many records he could have.
Jerry had them all, but he wasn't number 1, 2, and 3 behind all of them.
Saying he had the records.
Yeah. He had records.
Records, I mean, one. I mean, just you can be in the record book because he's in the record book. 2, 3, 4. I'm just saying record. I mean, uno.
Top. You're right. Yeah, I'm not even gonna argue with you about that one right there. Okay, listen. You are watching First Ring Podcast live. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to First Ring Podcast.
Oh, fine. What in the world?
Right. Mm-hmm. That's Pick. He getting the fine. Don't worry, it's coming.
Man.
No
That
BC's
was
allowed during the
Anthony.
games in the show.
Our Foursume budget.
That was Anthony Armstrong calling.
Your
That was
phone's
Anthony
supposed to be
Armstrong
on
calling.
silent.
It is on silent.
That didn't sound like silent to
It
me.
wasn't on silent. It wasn't on
That sounds
silent.
like some more
You're
money
right. It
for
wasn't on
the Al
silent.
Foursume budget.
Thank you for watching First Stream Podcast Live. Don't forget to like and subscribe to First Stream Podcast. Give us a good thumbs up and tell a friend about First Stream Podcast. And you're calling back. I sent you a text message. You're calling me back.
Here you go,
Are you kidding me, man? For real?
Pick. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Got him.
All right, there we go. All right, without further ado, we got our guy Anthony Armstrong here. Anthony, how are you, sir?
Anthony.
Man, I just had to just abort mission, man. I was like, y'all they up there slam dunking, they shooting hoops and stuff, man. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna slide off about 15 to 20. Y'all ain't gonna miss me, so it'd be good.
Okay.
How y'all doing? Everybody coordinating with the pink polos and everything?
Right. I was
Ladies,
just about to get into that.
Dang.
We are in our pink for breast cancer awareness. We rock this the whole month of October. Just in case you guys haven't been noticing, we have been wearing pink for the whole month. Lady A,
this man just did another.
he done changed hats again.
Another wardrobe change, man.
Another wardrobe
I mean,
change. he
Bucket,
did.
the Georgia bucket.
That's where the
Wait,
budget.
honey.
Hold on a
The
second.
budget go to
We
this
still
man.
hunting.
Get that out of here. Get
We
that
still
out of here. How do you kick him out of this thing? Can I kick him
Yeah, you
out?
can't. He can bring himself back in. We can't.
We still hunting.
I'm gonna boot him out and he come right back.
Anthony, so you were back in Washington, in Maryland, Northwest Stadium for Alumni Weekend. You guys came back to celebrate D Green, which we was just talking about. So how good did it see one of your I got you, Don? How good did it see one of your teammates get their jersey retired?
Man, it really like seeing one of your heroes get their jersey retired, right? Like and then to be able to share a brotherhood of having, being able to both say we were Redskins. Hell, not both say we. I was a Redskin as alongside Daryl Green. That was pretty cool. It was a point in there where like I was recording his son Jared give a speech at an event we had on Saturday night, and then Daryl got up and got to speaking, and just out of respect, I was like, let me just put my phone down and enjoy the words that he's saying. Somebody else will record. I can find the clip somewhere, but I'm gonna enjoy this. Hall of Famer, 20 years in the league. I mean, just his story. It was just special to be a part of, and then to see the turnout of former players and teammates that came out. It was over 150 legends that came out. So, like Art Monk was there. And then you always see, for a while, it was like Art Monk wouldn't come back around. So, so now you're starting to see these names that you've only seen pictures of, and then now they're here.
All right. So y'all know, parents got a parent, right? So right now, with Anthony got a little extra background noise, so he muted his mic. Got another question for you real quick. I got you. Listen, this one we're going to let you think on, okay? So get ready. We hit you with the question of the month, and our question of the month is brought by Dump Truck Don. So here's the question of the month right now. All right, so pick 6, designated greatest defensive back of all time. So your greatest defensive back of all time, backs of all time. So you need 6 of them because you backfield, greatest defensive backfield, of all time. So 6. It doesn't matter if you give us 6 cornerbacks, 6 safeties. It doesn't matter, but it's your greatest defensive backfield of all time. So we'll let you think on that. Lady A, got to ask you a question.
Yes.
How many of the legends did you recognize? Over 150 of them. I know you're a historian. How many did you recognize while Anthony thinks?
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm there every year. So when I see them, I tend to recognize a lot of them. Some of them, if I don't come every year, I probably wouldn't, because as time goes on, people look different, they change. So I don't think I recognize all 150, but a very good amount I did. I'm a lifetime fan, so
Right. Like Al, he's a lifetime Commanders fan, Redskins fan as well.
I'm back now.
Oh, he was talking about you, the one with the star on his head. That he talking about you.
Man, it must be. I don't know what he's talking about.
Did you lose a bet?
Anthony, you got something to say, didn't you?
No.
You took somebody. Man, let's see. Okay, obviously I got to give respect. If I'm starting out, I'm gonna obviously I put Daryl in there. Got to put Daryl Green in there.
Yes, sir.
20 years. He's played the most snaps, most defensive snaps in NFL history, like just of everybody, which is crazy to think. Then you got to think Deion Sanders. You got to put Prime out there as well. Back in that safety space, I was thinking old school. I wrote down Jack Tatum, but I think that's the wrong name. Is that the right name? Or who's the safety?
No, that is absolutely the right name.
Yeah,
safe. Or was it Night Train Lane? But was it Night Train Lane?
Yeah, I got
both
Night
of
Train.
them.
Really, both of them. Either way, I want a physical presence back there. Old school physical presence. I could put put Sean Taylor in there as well. Just paying respect. We could put him up there as well. And one that I enjoyed watching growing up alongside like Deion was Rod Woodson. I like him. I like him. Versatile, because now you can get him down in the slot. Is he a corner? Is he a safety? So it gives me some versatility there. And in my fifth spot, well, I guess my sixth spot, 1, 2, 3. Well, I guess that'd be 4. I met Champ Bailey. And so Champ's cold. So he's one of the best to do it too. So put him in there. Because I think now you can just lock up with anybody. You can just lock up with anybody. So give me both of those. Maybe give me Ed Reed, my high flying safety. He's gonna go from numbers to numbers, right? Then you got Jack Tatum or Night Train or Sean T. Any of those physical ones can be in that strong safety spot. Put them in the box if they need to. Yeah, I like that. I like that lineup.
Hey, Mike. Oh, hey, listen, Don. I don't know. That was a great question of the month, right? But Don, I don't know of many wide receivers, tight ends, running backs that's going to get loose versus that secondary. That would. I don't know if
I think you can play man.
That's a mean down package. That's a mean down package, man.
Yeah, it's like you can play man across the board, and then if he does get loose inside, there's somebody waiting on him. Then you're like,
right.
So
I don't want to run that slant so much.
See, that's what I was about to ask. I was about to say, Anthony. So if you are going through the week and you game planning, and you're like, hey, you're gonna run this slant or this deep end. What choice words are you gonna give your wide receivers coach? Talking about
man. Look, see, the thing is you already know they're there. That's the thing, right? So you just have to you got to run your route the right way. You got to be on the right angle, and you just got to hope your quarterback is on the same page with you. Because if he's not, it's gonna be a headache, and then you got to have discussions after the field and after the game. So no, man, I trust me. I've ran plenty of routes and shallows, and I remember running one against Baltimore. It was just in the preseason, but I line up and I had to run a shallow cross, and who was in the middle? Middle linebacker. Yeah, trust me. I kept my eyes on 52 the whole way. All right. I would have got hit in the head with the football, but I was keeping my eyes on Ray Lewis because he was not about to take my head off as I went across there. So I think I ran by saying, "Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me." He let me slide. He let it slide.
Hey, listen, I know. I remember telling us how his drill instructor told him he was going to be he was going to jump out of airplanes and said had some words.
You not try to jump out of plane? He's like, no, sir.
Man told him, I don't even jump out of bed.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
All right. So which one of your legends were you most excited to see when you were back home?
Man, it was always good seeing the people that I played ball with. And then last year, having come down, had a lot of great conversations with Ricky Sanders and his wife, and just talking with just so many different Ken Jennings and Gary Nelson. See, I'll say this: they did a great job this year. The gift that they gave the ones who RSVP'd in time, and I say that because I didn't RSVP in time, is you got this customized sweatshirt and it had their number and their name on the back. So I was like, oh, okay, that's so-and-so, right? And that kind of helped you understand who it was. Because, you got to think, a lot of guys, I didn't know. But I will say this. You were talking about who did you recognize. A lot of guys came in having lost a lot of weight. All right, a lot of older guys. that were 60, 70. They would come in losing a lot of weight. I know Dave Whittam is a guy that had lost, I think he said he lost 70 pounds. So he's looking good. Ed Simmons was looking good. Shoot, man, a couple of, I can't think all those, a lot of other names, but a lot of guys are looking good. So that means that people are taking care of their health and they're taking this thing seriously. So hopefully we'll get to see them for many more homecomings to come.
Here's my last question before I give you to the rest of the squad. You've been back for alumni weeks before. We have a new ownership group, right? And I'm not asking you to talk bad about our ownership group, our previous ownership group. I just want to know, what's the difference? Like, is it more energy? Is it more respect? Just explain the difference to us so that we can understand what a lot of our players and former players have gone through.
I've been to two. I've been to two. I went to one last year and then this one this year. And last year, it was still like post ownership change, but it wasn't. It was still my first. And I guess there was still some, bad feelings of like previous years of how things had went down. So they, Josh Harrison crew, they made a big change. They brought Tim Hightower in and made him to be, lead a department that's about outreach to the legends. And, they made a very conscious effort over the past 2 years to get people involved, bringing folks back into training camp. And, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, this is what it was supposed to be like, because I had been literally 10 years since I had heard anything from, the team in any regard of like, hey, come back and check out a training camp, anything like that. So, that's just what it was. And that's kind of how we always thought it was. And you can tell that they're taking an effort to change the narrative around how they're going to treat former players. I mean, and how they treat current players and families and things of that nature. So I'll share that we went to the walkthrough on Saturday, and they said no cameras or anything like that, but we were on one side of the field, and on the other side they had a section for the families of the players. So you saw people, their girlfriends, wives, bringing in babies. I think my dog just walked in on me. Lord, that door opened, it scared me. So just the door opened, but nobody came behind it. It was a dog. Lord, but no, they had a section for families, and so it was really cool to see players come off of the field after practice, and then they have their babies and they're doing it. I don't recall that happening before, So the things that they talk about, you can tell that they're making a conscious effort of it. And one last thing I'll mention, and this may be directly connected to the mobile ticketing aspect of it, but after yesterday, I got a survey from them. They're like, hey, how was your experience at the game? And it was everything from team chants, fight song, how's the sound, is it clean, like everything. How was your section? How was the command force? How was their performances? They're making an effort, and they're really reaching out, and they're asking fans, however many people went to the game and you had a mobile ticket,
that's cool.
Whatever email that's connected to you, have an email that's asking you for feedback. And yes, I know most people are going to say, what's one thing we can improve on? Change the name. But use that as a useful tool to give them something to work with, right? Like, hey, I had to really think. And I was like, you know what? In the upper deck, because at the game I was walking around everywhere. I barely watched the game, right? I was up and down signing autographs. People were looking at me like, I know this guy looked familiar, and then they would realize, and it was like, oh, he does take a picture. It was cool, but up at the upper deck, I had to tell him, I said, hey, look, the sound up there is delayed. It doesn't, it's not, you're trying to sing the fight song, and then you're like, the screen says one thing, I'm hearing one thing, and I'm singing another thing. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of gets confusing. So that was what I put. So, hey, maybe at some point they'll improve the sound up in the upper decks and in the meantime. So they're committed to that stuff. And as a fan base, I would be excited. I've never really cheered for a team. Okay. Like I grew up a fan of Dallas, and I grew up, but outside of that, I'm a fan of players. But now I'm, being able to really support this team. You're like, man, I can see how being a fan, this could be a really good thing. I could get in on this. So you use your voice, use your opportunity to speak to the team and let them know what you need.
I agree.
We'll always welcome you back, Anthony. Understand that, man. We'll always welcome you back, man.
He don't want to be with
You don't
y'all.
have to stay with that team, man. But it's okay. I understand, man.
He don't. He
I
don't.
get a,
You're
I do
glad
I
with
do
us.
get I
You're
do get
glad
a
with us. I
couple.
understand.
I get a couple of emails from Dallas, and they invite me to a couple of things. But I've said, and I'll tell these folks here, man. I know where my bread was buttered. All
There we
right,
go.
I know where
See,
my bread was buttered, and frankly,
I'll go.
Dallas had the first opportunity. I was in the building. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So they let me get away.
Oh
So,
well.
See,
and that's just how it
Al's gonna be
happens.
drinking the Kool-Aid soon anyway. Say it, you ready?
I am not drinking. I'm drinking Sprite.
Man. Um, as you watch the game, I mean, granted, we know it was Carolina. Um, we know what Carolina is at this point. With the management and the players. What did you think about how they jumped on them early and stayed on?
Honestly, said that's exactly what I expected. Like this is what I wanted them to do. You had to dominate this team from the jump, and it couldn't be. Let me tell you, I said this on my show. If it was 40-28, I would have been upset.
Yeah.
I would have been mad. I wouldn't have been happy at all. I would have been pissed. I'd be like, why did you give up 28 points to a team that averages 17.8?
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
Everybody's like, oh, we put up 40, but you gave up 28. Now other teams would be salivating looking at that. Like, y'all gave up 28 to them? Oh,
Mhm.
word. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Mhm.
Now you show me that you dominating on defense, you dominating on offense, even with the backup quarterback. I feel more comfortable because I knew they had to jump on them quickly. Like that was a team that was primed for that. Emotionally, how do you come off of a tough loss on the road against Baltimore, right? You got an opponent that you should pick on, and they did that. They jumped out on it. Unfortunately, we lose a quarterback for maybe a week or two, but hey, we still ever get a W, and I think he can still beat Chicago with Marcus Mariota.
Lady,
Mhm.
Mhm.
Lydia.
So we have all these lovely changes going on within the team. How do you feel the receiving group has been performing, and what can they do to change going forward?
I don't think they have to do anything. I think they're performing as they or were intended. Really, I mean, looking at the roster coming into the season, I was already thinking your wide receiver too may very well be a tight end or a running back, just based on targets and just how this thing can play out. Uh, it's not to downplay those other guys over there, but frankly, we still haven't seen one person who's just been consistently that starter who's going to get 6, 7, 8 targets. I mean, Terry's going to get his, and I love that. I need him to get 10 targets a game. That's the type of respect he garners.
Right.
But the this offense is working, and the way that Jaden's decision making has been, and the way that Cliff has maximized each player's skill set, I think. Like they really only do what they're really good at, and it may be like 5 or 6 plays, but when they get in there, they get the ball in that situation and they're efficient with it.
Mhm.
That's big. And it's smart play call. Like we'll give Terry everything else, but these specific plays, let's throw it to these people because Diami's good at the tunnel screens. Like he
Right.
needs to get those passes, and play action glances are really good, or slants are really good for Noah Brown because he's a bigger body guy and he can take those things on. So once you're starting to assign people to different roles, it's on to the play caller and the quarterback to really make the decision. So it's not going to be that one where you got 2,000-yard receivers. That's not what it is. What matters is W's and being efficient on offense. So it's working as it's intended.
Yeah.
There we go. Al.
Anthony, man, like I said, we always welcome back in Dallas. But on another note, for the chat and for the people watching out there on TV who watch the game, outside of the game, and who don't get the experience of things with the whole weekend, what was the best part about the whole weekend outside the football game that you got to experience that you can help the fans
Man,
take part in?
man, I'm gonna really. I have to go to game day. I went in the tailgate. I was in the tailgate this year, and I had never been to like a professional sports tailgate. Um, just for whatever reason. I mean, obviously I've been playing, but I never go to tailgate. So this time I did, and there's some other podcast hosts who were there who were tailgating, and I had tweeted out that I was going, and people were like, "Pull up over here." And then once y'all sent the map, I was like, "That's a big old parking lot." I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't know how this is going to work out, but Me being me, Lady A, I'm sorry. I'm going right out there and I'm walking through the parking lot. Like I told y'all, people were looking like, "Ar- Armstrong, what are you doing out here then?" I'm like, oh, I'm just taking in, I'm taking in I'm taking in the tailgate. Like I wanted to come and kick it with y'all. I wanted to kick it with the fans.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to be, I'm a man of the people. Really, that's what I was saying all weekend. So that was my favorite experience, was just being able to interact with y'all, and like
Yeah.
you can just see all these different groups of people just bouncing around, vibing, and then so all one command center was, they had some go rocking.
Yeah.
You get back there, they folks had smoked all these pork butts and handing out Macallan, and there was plenty of things going on. There was cigars and more that was happening in the parking lot.
That's how you
And
do it.
hey man, I was just like, okay, all right, that's what it is. But no,
Yeah.
And
it
there's
was
a lot of
good,
fans
man.
coming to the stadium so ready.
Yeah.
Man, right? I mean, I saw somebody, they were having raffles and
Yep.
DJs and
Yep.
like so if anything, like hell, go to the tailgate. People got TVs. Like you might as well go and hang out a little bit, a little early, and you
Mhm.
might see me. I'm already looking at like what other game can I go to? So
Mhm.
there's a big one on the 24th of November, but we'll see what happens.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. One of these
Mhm.
co-hosts ain't gonna be happy after the end of that game.
Oh no,
Mhm.
one will be fine. It might be well two. It might be two that might be not be very
No,
happy.
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think
I don't
so.
think so.
I don't
Oh,
Well,
think
that's
well, we
funny.
got to play today, Atlanta. I mean, I'm saying maybe talking about you, man, because I don't have no idea what they talking about.
Oh,
You don't not worried about that. We got Kirk Hizzle.
we played them at the
Yeah, we
last
played
home
them
game.
towards the
Yeah.
last home game we got
That
in
game's
Atlanta.
gonna
We
mean something too.
it
That
Yeah.
game is
is.
gonna mean something. At first, I thought
Yeah.
it was just Kirk's coming back to DC. Like, no, that game's gonna be like
Yeah.
Kirk
hey,
coming back
somebody's
for blood.
fighting for a bye week, or
Yep.
is somebody
That's why
gonna
it's
get home
TBD.
field? Yeah.
The time is still TBD towards the end of the season because they may flex it. So
No, that's a flex. That's gonna be a flex. It's
don't do
it's
that.
actually it's good to be on flex games for once. Like that was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Mhm.
We're gonna wind
But it
up
ain't
on a
local.
lot of prime time and Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday
Yeah.
night games next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what
So
y'all gonna do with y'all mornings and early afternoons open?
cut the
Take
grass,
our feet up.
get the grass
Take
cut,
our feet up.
Let's
get the
not
Be
get
grass
ahead
really
of
cut,
ourselves,
productive.
Anthony. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, man.
Hey man,
get the grass cut.
you've been living it. You've
That
been
man
living
right
in that
there.
space for the longest, Al. You've been
Yeah,
living
it's
in
time
that
to give that
space.
up.
I have been, man, and we ain't ready to give it up quite yet, man.
But
You
Yeah,
I
know
No,
don't
well,
know
we
why
ain't either.
though. I don't.
hey, well, you always heard them say, "Snatch the pebble from my hand, grasshopper." You know what happens after that. Give me the pebble, old man. So, so Anthony, man, listen, we know that you gave us your 15-minute break. We really do appreciate you, man, for coming
absolutely.
through. Your next podcast is when?
Man, shoot, I actually just recorded one today with Dr. David Chow. We were talking about Jaden and his ribs. So I'm gonna release that. It's a short one, so that one will probably get posted up tonight. And then I'll have some more just kind of looking ahead against Chicago later on this week.
All
How you
right.
feel? What do you feel about Chicago this week? What you like? What you
Yep.
don't like?
Man, I mean, hell, the next three you're going up against some pretty good pass rushers. Montez Sweat, the Giants got Kayvon and Brian Burton. Think Kayvon might be out, but then T.J. Watt with the Steelers. So
Yeah.
makes me think a little bit, right? Makes me think a little bit. Maybe you see a different Heisman Trophy winner, second overall pick that needs to suit up in this upcoming matchup. So I think that they're a team that it could get too exciting, but I wouldn't want to risk JD5 to do it. It's still beatable teams. The way Washington has been playing, I think you still got to come in this thing thinking you're going to get a W. You got to represent on the home field.
There we go. There we go. I like it. I like it. Thank you again for your time. I will
Yeah,
be
man.
reaching out to you, of course, again to get you books back on the show, man. I appreciate it.
You got it, y'all. I appreciate it.
Thank
Good one, man.
you.
Be
Thank
safe,
you.
man.
Y'all be good.
That was Watch the Redskins legend Anthony Armstrong. Um, man, make sure you check out his podcast. He's doing big things. Well, listen, it's time for Al to get ready to move over there,
Mm,
and Al's going to go right there.
mm.
And we're going to do this. Listen, we did not go around the NFL, but Al is going to bring you some of the top performers in this week's NFL. Well, what you know is Al picks out some folks, makes some calls, brings these players in, treats them to a round of golf, a day off of practice. They play in a foursome. Al is actually flying out to the destination tonight. So, Al, it's time to find out who's in your foursome. And most importantly, Said spent all the money for the budget on hats.
Negative. We got a new influx of cash from your fines this afternoon.
Man.
Okay.
We are back. We got a full buffet at the course waiting for them. And we're going to Congressional Country Club thanks to Pick and his fines for the week. And we got some once again, man. We got some repeat offenders, man, and I'm having a good time with these guys, man. I had a good time playing with them. I've had to ask some of these back. So, first guy I had to ask back, and you already know who it is. He did it to y'all a couple weeks ago, and he did it to Tampa Bay last night. Lamar Jackson, 5 touchdowns, 281 yards passing, 52 yards rushing. I mean, it almost looked worse than that. He is by far, I think, the leading MVP candidate. Going to be the youngest person to ever get a third MVP if he's able to do that and continue on this pace throughout the year. I can't say anymore. I gotta call Baltimore and tell Lamar, come on out to my foursome, man. The next guy, hate to do it, but the Saquon Bowl.
Saquon Bowl.
He went back to New York and saw fans burning his jersey, and then he burnt them up right behind it. I mean, 117 carries, 176 yards, 10 yards a carry.
Hold on, wait, how many carries?
17 carries.
17 carries, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said 117.
No, 107. I'm sorry. 17 carries, 176 yards, and 1 touchdown, 10 yards a carry. I mean, made Joe Shane should have been fired right after that game because he looked bad and looked terrible for not keeping that guy. The next guy, man, I got a rookie on here, man, that showed big on Sunday night. Beanie Bishop. 2 picks of Aaron Rodgers, 5 tackles, and 2 pass defense. Played huge. A huge momentum turner. Beanie Bishop. I'm calling my man Mike Tomlin. Hey, Beanie gets the day off. He's part of definitely my foursome. And then I got to go back to last night. A guy who was bringing the wood everywhere. 18 total tackles and a forced fumble. Roquan Smith. If you didn't watch that game last night, that young man was bringing wood, iron, and lumber.
I think he was playing like somebody kidnapped his sister or mama.
To the party. So I got to make 2 calls in Baltimore. Man, Baltimore has been playing very well, but not about teams, but about players. But that's my 4 standout players, man, who get the day off, man, and have been welcome to my force. Lamar, Beanie Bishop, Roquan, and Saquon, man. I'm looking forward to the round tomorrow.
All right.
Hey, y'all, all food and drink is on toothpick, so the budget is good.
No pausing in nowhere.
Listen, that's Al's foursome, and I just want y'all to know that I gave Al the black card, and it's going to bounce. So don't even worry about
decline.
That thing is going to
be Al. So you see how he set you up?
So hard.
So embarrassing.
Don't take it personal, Al.
I ain't tell you it was a cardboard card, so I knew I was in trouble, Lady A.
That's
so embarrassing.
It wasn't even plastic. The car was
It's not even what it is. It's said in the bucket hats, man. He just kept buying them. He just kept buying bucket hats. Bucket hats.
Did you use the bucket?
I'm not listening to that, Sid. I don't believe
y'all don't never give me no budget. That's all right.
I'll tell you what it was. It was picking that fake Kool-Aid he's putting in them glasses. That was some cognac or something extra, man. It went to the spirits in the chat.
Look, y'all talking about y'all budget. I gotta grow and make my own tea.
That's the herbal process.
She do got the garden going.
I gotta grow and make my own tea because y'all done used all the money. Terrible.
Since we talked about that, let's go and get you over there
Yeah.
and get
Yeah.
you where you need to be. Listen,
Yeah.
it's time for Lady A's Avenue. She got a little hot tea for us. Pinkies
Mhm.
up,
Yes, Pinky all the way up. Okay, so
Yeah.
all the way up.
we talked about our Jamin Davis. He was cut. So, thank you so much for being a part of our team, sir.
You're welcome.
And I wish him well. Moving on. So we had a game this weekend, right? We played Carolina. Well, prayers up for Andy Dalton and his family who was involved in a car accident this morning
Oh wow.
after returning back to North Carolina. So not sure what's going on, but he was being evaluated. I think that's just a regular protocol. But they said that it was his wife, his 3 children, and their dog all in the car. But nobody was transported by a paramedic. So
But Tuesdays are off days anyway, right?
it is.
Right.
It is here. And
Kids
then
don't go to school,
also,
apparently.
so let's go on. So there's one player that I've been talking about, man, all the time. Y'all hear me? We do our anytime touchdown. And
Yeah.
I said, we might not want to keep using him. I just said this, right?
You did.
Well, the Bucks.
Todd
Chris Godwin.
Jinx.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or just maybe I just knew. I don't know, but he was injured. Now he has to have surgery, and he could possibly be out for this season.
Oh, it's over.
Was it dislocation or was it a break? And I've heard two.
I heard it was a dislocation, his left ankle. So, and the coach is actually under fire right now because a lot of people feel like he shouldn't have even put him in the game at that point. It was at the very end of the game. The score is set. I mean, let's just keep it real. It was what, 41-31. You weren't going to get 10 points.
Seconds left.
Right, you weren't going to get 10 points in that time frame. So,
I didn't think so.
like, what's really going on? So,
It says dislocated.
yeah, dislocated left ankle.
Yeah.
So he will have to go have surgery because of that, and will probably be out for the year. So, of course, prayers up to Chris Godwin. He was clutch for our anytime touchdown. We talked about him numerous times on the show. So that's unfortunate for Tampa. He was being a rock star.
He was. Heck of a year.
Yeah, he was, and a lot of people didn't expect it either. Also, moving on, people are always talking about LeBron James. They're talking about Bronny, and is Bronny going to be the next superstar, or is Bronny going to live up to his dad's name?
No.
And a lot of negativity comes after that. They're so focused on Bronny that they didn't even realize that Shaq's son then snuck up in the NBA.
Sure did.
Yep.
Minnesota.
Sharif has been signed to Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento.
So, I mean, that's huge. That's definitely big news for me because we have this flood of second generation and some third, coming into the NBA. And it's just interesting to see. I think it's great to see these people, these superstars that we've seen all these years, who are still relevant as far as businessmen and everything now. And of course, LeBron is still playing. But now to see their children come in and playing against each other, that is just the coolest thing ever. So I'm interested into, in seeing Sharif. And I'm going to put it out there. This was not because Shaq gave someone an ultimatum. Okay.
Right.
Sacramento chose to sign him based off of his skill and what he brings to the table. So kudos to him. Kudos to Sharif O'Neal. He's 24. He's now in the NBA. And I'm looking forward to seeing everything that he will do.
He was the one that had the heart issue, right? They had to set up
Yes.
all the year, right?
Surgery. Mm-hmm. Yep. And before the surgery, you know, a lot of people were just like, he was the next big thing, you know.
Yeah,
he was you
playing
know,
pretty well.
in the news, you know, like everybody's looking at, you know, what's he going to do next and all of that. So it's good that that medical emergency that he had did not keep him from
From his
entering the
dreams.
NBA.
Yep.
And that's a
Mhm.
testament as well to LeBron's longevity and
Mm-hmm.
sustained excellence. I mean, the fact that, like you said, Shaq got kids and all of them had kids around the same age, or you know, in their
Same
not
time.
not
And
that
at
the
the
same
same age.
age, but the same time. That's what I mean.
Right.
But the fact that this guy's still playing, man, 22
Mhm.
years strong, and still, I think a lot of these guys have said much to these guys, man. It's a testament. But yeah, Shaq. I mean, I think he's getting ready, and this show looks a lot different, man. With I thought Charles Barkley was off the TNT show, or was that next
He
year?
said this is last year
Yeah,
or
this is
something like
last
that.
year.
This is
Mhm.
last year. Yeah. This
But
it's gonna look.
the show has been having some issues, you know, like
It's
are
still
they
the
going to
number one
cut
show.
him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's still the number one pre and
and
post
as it
game
should be.
show.
Say
It's
again, Lady
amazing.
A.
Ernie's doing
Oh,
this thing.
well,
So
one more thing. Well, not one more. There's a couple, but run through them real quick. For those who don't know, Tua, and I quote, said that he loves football to the death of him. And he's saying this right before he returns back to practice. So just an update on Tua for those who are wondering, you know, what's going on. He's trying to continue to play.
He refuses
There you go. Keyword refuses.
to wear a Guardian cap.
Yep. Which I've seen other players wear. I mean, I don't like them, but I understand its purpose, you know?
Was it you guys' player?
No, in the Browns game, when we played the Browns, I remember someone had.
One of the offensive tackles had one. Had come back from concussion. He had one on. I
Mm,
mean, it may not be you guys. It might be another team.
No.
I know when we played the Browns, it was a player who had one on.
Yeah, I think it was a left tackle, right tackle had one on. He just come back from concussion.
Mm-hmm.
And he had one on.
Right. And then speaking of another, of course, switching over to another sport, but Neymar, you know, world renowned athlete, tore his ACL. And he is now returning back onto the field. So if you don't know Neymar, then you just don't know anything about soccer. Like, I mean,
the name says it all.
He's literally one of the biggest players in soccer right now. Also, Tiger Woods has a high-tech indoor golf league. It's supposed to tee off in January. So be on the lookout for that. You know, he is moving along, being a businessman. Still staying within his field. So I think it is supposed to tee off January 7th of 25. And they released the schedule on Monday. It was supposed to originally begin in January of 23. So of course they delayed it for 2 years. Supposed to be at SoFi Center at that time. So of course they had to redo SoFi Center, rebuild some things. So they will have this particular league will have 6 teams, and they'll have 24 mic'd up stars on the PGA Tour. So they'll compete. It'll be 15 match regular season in the arena in Palm Beach Gardens. So just be on the lookout for that for Tiger in his new ventures. And that's all I got for today.
All right. And that is Tea with Lady A. At this time, we're going to say safe travels to Al.
Yeah, man, I got to get to the airport at 10, leave for the airport at 10:30. Said, I already see I'm about to miss an epic leaking oil because I see it in your face. It almost like you're like I see costumes on your chin, around your neck, and I see it in your hand.
You know, switched up a million times.
Some type of epic leaking oil. I feel greedy already.
So y'all know it's coming.
I got a little bit today.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute.
I'm gonna try to chime in with y'all on Saturday from Curacao. I don't know how the Wi-Fi is going to work or whatever.
Okay.
But I'll be on my phone. But I'll be in touch, man. Man, y'all take care. I see y'all later to the chat.
All right.
Safe travel, my brother. Safe travel.
Continue to support. Enjoy the night, and I'll thank y'all for safe travel.
Be safe. Be safe.
All
Be
right.
safe, Al.
Be safe, Al. We got you.
All right. Of course, y'all know that was T with Lady A.
Mhm.
T with Lady A does not have a sponsor. She has to grow her own tea. So
Mhm.
that is that. Now, let's move over to where the real money is made. It is time for leaking oil with Said. Now, this is the most sought after program. People are calling me talking about, I want Said to be leaking oil all over the place. And I'm telling them, listen, leaking oil needs a sponsor. And today's sponsor is
Hot sauce.
Texas Longhorn Steaks. Because they leaked oil
make sure they know it wasn't me.
all
Not yet, anyway.
over the field. Okay, I hope y'all ready. The bumblebee is loose. It is Ted leaking oil.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's up? What's up? How we doing? Hold on. Let me pull up just a little bit so you can see. No, this is not me ride. This is not me riding a motorcycle. My name is Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, and Mayfield. This is how we arrived to pick up our check this on Monday after the trash they put on the field this past weekend. Well, Tuesday for Aaron Rodgers, Monday for Mayfield and Kirk Cousins.
They
trash.
showing up at the pay window.
You showing up at the window trash. They were like, who's that coming? Oh, that's Kirko. That's okay. He'll be all right. Mm-hmm. He coming in. He ain't riding no motorcycle. He coming in looking like he drunk, just smiling. Hey, y'all. I come pick up my guaranteed check.
I can't with it,
How about you start put some guaranteed money on the field? How about that? You know what I'm saying? We tired of this trash. The defense showing that you disappear. We need you to appear every game. But anyway, I digress. Let me take that off because I can't see. I have my glasses on. I can't even know.
can't read my own notes.
I can't read my notes, man. I can't read my notes. So with that being said, I didn't really have too much in NFL today because the wins were obvious. Let me pull this down. The wins were obvious. The losses were obvious. There was no big. There was no moment where we thought that it was really, really, out of hand. The people who lost. The people who won, as you've seen by our records. We weren't surprised. There were no surprise. Not in the NFL. Not this week in the NFL. There was no surprise in the NFL. Now, as we move over to college.
Oh, boy.
As we move over to college, we're gonna call who was I'm sorry. We're gonna call Miami the team with the million escape artists. You hear what I'm saying? Miami, first of all, we're gonna need you to get that guy off your sideline cheering for y'all because he can't be out there for too long. Especially if he can make down to Miami. That's all I'm saying.
Lady A, is that a flammable offense?
I didn't say nothing. And then, wait a minute. And then on top of that one, down goes Bama to a UT team that was trash. But you know what? I love it. You know what I'm saying? They got guys coming in smoking cigars. Something they would never do with saving. They coming in with cigars. Ain't nobody got no dress shirt on. They got shirts untucked. They, we Bama. We ain't got to come in here with no shirts on. But you know what?
Oh, he about to post.
You know what? I can't pull it out right now because I got to use it for something else. You know what? We can see y'all playoff chances.
Hot mess.
You got 2 losses. Aim for one more. Oh, thank you. You know what? Thank you. Miami all day. We see. We ought to. Wait. Anyway, we don't worry about them.
What?
Just so you can see.
Oh my goodness.
Nothing Bevo.
What is this? I know that is not
Bevo.
bootleg.
Yeah. We hunting Bevo. We knocking down all cows. If you out there,
Yeah. Another
if
fine.
you have not noticed by now,
Another
if you have not
fine.
noticed right now, you know,
The budget is gone, man.
Yeah.
He got
we
bevo
came down.
rifles.
We went to Austin. We kicked them in the ankles. We
Oh
stepped
my
on them. We did a
God.
couple karate chops to the neck. You know what I'm saying? Even though the referees did their best. Look, he go $10 referee. Okay, we overturned it. Y'all good? Take it.
Oh my
Y'all the ball
goodness.
back. But you know what? It didn't matter because you know what? My coach say we hunting. We
Look at
hunting.
this. Look at this.
Yeah, like
What did you have holding? Is this string?
we
Oh,
hunting.
and the light. What you got the light for? Say it. You are this another fine. Another fine. They trying to tell you in the chat not to do stuff, and you still doing it.
You know what? All I need now is a fine steak. All I need now is
you gonna get a fine, all right.
You know what? As much cow we killed this weekend, you know what I'm saying? But nothing about a nice T-bone right now, but just it'd be
Oh
fine.
my goodness, this is terrible.
You know, I knew a New York strip, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little filet mignon, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, but hey, you know what? I rubbed a couple times for y'all. There you go. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. But guess what? No matter what you think,
oh, here we go.
No matter what you think, you can't keep a good dog down.
Oh, here we go.
And that is leaking on with your boy this weekend.
Oh,
this the
man.
This the show. This the segment that you talking about. It make the most money. No, it's spend the most money. He spend all the money. That's why I gotta grow my stuff.
We hunting beavos.
Said truly gets the budget and divvies it up to nobody else but himself.
And then spends more.
Oh,
I saw his little gun. He had to push his out because he ran out of money.
Hey,
leaking oil, ladies and gentlemen. That was leaking oil with said. Said when hunting. Who you go hunting with? Oh, yeah. Hey, I can't lie. I was like, there it is, right there. Said fire.
But again, shout out to a boy, Austin Lamont, who was down there in Uptown Sports Club down in Austin.
Yeah.
He stopped over there with us, you know, hit us with a couple of go dogs, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nice guy, had a good time with him.
Okay. So Austin and Austin.
Yeah, Austin and Austin. Austin and Austin, who's from Atlanta.
He's from Atlanta, yeah. He flew down for the game. We're gonna bring him on. We're gonna bring him on one of these Tuesdays.
So it's gonna be both of y'all.
Oh, Austin is a serious Falcons Georgia Bulldog fan.
Oh my god! Well, we need to have him on our Falcons.
My man.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
That's December 29th. We need to have him on for that. For the
Look, Bruce Glass says, got to questions to find when he's making money. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Hey, he's making the money for us, right?
He's making the money, he's spending it all.
He's spending it, he's doing what he's doing.
All these fines.
He won't divvy it up. Listen, we do appreciate y'all for watching First String Podcast. Please do not forget that this weekend coming up, we're going to do our Call of Duty giveaway. But you must send in your picks to firststringpodcast@gmail.com to be eligible. You must be a subscriber to First String Podcast on our YouTube channel. Listen, we're giving away Call of Duty. And the only thing you got to do is have the best record from all of the other people that will submit entries. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to beat us because Pick is focused. So you see that energy? You see that energy from them? You see that energy from them too, right there? You see that energy?
Yes.
That's why I'm focused. That's why I'm focused. Keep that same energy, y'all, too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have.
Y'all,
That's why we
y'all
at
did
number
this.
1 and 2.
Y'all did this. Remember, y'all did this.
Yes, we got
So
1
we'll
and
see.
2. We know we got that.
Come on, Pig.
We'll-
Just 2 weeks.
We'll
Pig. There's 2 weeks, Pig. There's 2 weeks now. Okay.
We still got a lot of football
It's
left.
a lot of football. Make sure you stay hot now. Make sure you stay locked in now. Don't want you to get unlocked in now, because it's almost hit 1 week to fall all the way down.
That's true.
All right. I'm just saying.
Your record for the week could have been flipped. Let's not pretend.
But it wasn't.
I'm saying it can be. So you might want to be
You're
humble.
absolutely right. I'm humble. I'm just
lady,
saying.
No, it
y'all
don't sound
did this.
humble.
She's only up by
Y'all
one
did
game.
this.
So.
Y'all did this. Listen.
You have to humble yourself, because you could drop. Because I dropped below. Say it took the number 1 spot. Then I flipped it back around. You see how that happened?
Yeah.
Because that can happen at any given game.
Listen, let's get out of here. Listen, on next Tuesday we have Mitch Tischler joining us. We have Mitch Tischler joining us on next Tuesday, October 29th. So make sure you guys it is October 29th. Yeah, it is. Make sure you guys tune in with us there, and then on Saturday as well, where we have our NFL pick show. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you for watching First String Podcast. We keep doing this because you guys keep watching, and we really do appreciate y'all. Say it. Did we cover everything?
He said, did we cover everything?
For sure.
Oh.
For sure. Cool. Shouts out to my son, United States. It was First String Podcast, second to none. Come get some. Tell them, say it.
Go, dogs.
Raise hell.
It's wartime, baby. This what you signed up for. This what we worked hard for. You for. Y'all the first string. Y'all gotta go set the tone now. Hey, let's go. Lace them up. It's the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Cause it's time for the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. Lace them up. It's the First String Podcast show. Hey, let's go. They spitting facts on the First String Podcast show. Imagine talking sports, having fun with the fam. At a starting lineup, First String is what you have. An entertaining stream with the Pro Bowl cast. When the viewers chime in, they gon' answer what you ask. Representing for the Queens, yeah, we got Lady A. A super knowledgeable woman who can break down any play. Say it from the South, so he rep GA. The Falcons, the Bulldogs, the whole Peach State. Drunk Uncle Al, only way you can describe him. Every time he crack the mic, you know he gon' be wildin'. Last but not least, it's my man Toothpick. Commanders is a squad and he the captain of the ship. So if you feel the vibe,